Welcome back, fans, once again to another episode of Coach's Corner, powered to you by Central Hydraulics. I'm your host, Paul Vold, as we get a recap on the weekend that was for your Granite City Lumberjacks. Assistant coach Eric Moser joins us here this week. And Coach, unfortunately, here this week, we got to mention about, of course, a bad weekend that was for the squad. A couple of losses to Wilmer and obviously the Minnesota Moose. But starting off with some good news that came out of this previous week, we can talk about a couple of players that did get their first taste of what it's like at the next level, playing in the NA. Couple of players at least getting the call up to at least see how the next level is. And I'm sure with seeing some of the young promises, some of these young players, has to be at least a little bit a nice feeling for the coaching staff to see some of these players get their chance at the next level.
Yeah, I mean, right now is the time of year where the NA is looking to bring guys in and kind of get a pulse on, what the NA3 has to offer for younger players. So getting them up to skate and potentially get them into games. I know Seth Terrell got a game on Friday up in Aberdeen. They were on the road versus Minot. So good to see him get some playing time at that level. But it's all about them getting their opportunity to showcase their talents and hopefully, put themselves on the map for potentially a spot at that level for next year. So super happy about that. And obviously what comes with that is you lose a couple key guys to your lineup, but that's what our league's all about, is the development of players and making sure that they have the most opportunity to advance their hockey careers and be successful.
Yeah, we talked about it on the broadcast over the weekend where there is loss for some of those key players. There's opportunity for some guys to make themselves known in the lineup. And it started off with the game on Friday. Unfortunately, a 3-1 loss against Wilmer. Just seemed to be like a slow start overall. Team kind of just seemed a little bit sluggish throughout much of the contest. And Wilmer took full advantage. I mean, what did you see there from the effort on Friday for the Lumberjacks?
Yeah, I mean, it was just kind of a night where we felt like we were playing on our heels the entire night. It's two teams that are at the bottom of our division, but it's kind of any given night in the West Division. You never know, what you're going to get, and every team that plays us, we know that we're going to get their best effort. So, it was kind of, the coaching staff takes a little bit of responsibility, lack of preparation. We have to be better on our end of getting the guys ready and prepared for the weekends. Obviously losing 3 in the last 3 weekends and getting swept this weekend. But we just have to prepare and have better starts on the weekends, and I think it's going to go a long way. But yeah, I mean, it's any given night, so you just have to bring your A game every time you step on the ice.
And then carry that over the game on Friday into Saturday, 5-3 against the Moose. Like you said, any night that a team can capitalize, especially in this very competitive West Division. A little bit of back and forth there towards the early beginnings, but then special teams kind of reared its head with obviously a power play goal for us. They give up a shorthanded goal on that. But looking at that contest too, I'm sure there were some things that were kind of things to make note of and kind of were glaring at the end of the contest.
Yeah, I mean, Saturday's game was a lot better in our eyes as the way that we played. They were able to bury their chances where we struggled with ours hitting posts and not banging home the one sitting out in front of the net, which happens. But the big thing, that I took away is how do we get the, intensity playing behind the last 6-7 minutes of a game. How do we translate that last 6-7 minutes of the third period when you're playing behind, trying to even up the score and potentially force overtime? How do we get that from the first 20 minutes, right? So it's just a mentality thing and guys wanting to play hungry, and we just need to get our guys to play that way for a full 60 minutes. But it's all about what you take from these situations, right? We get swept. We kind of have to look at it glass half full. Nobody's going to be perfect, but we just have to minimize weekends like we just had, and we'll be just fine. There's still plenty of hockey left. We're still in first place, but another thing you have to look at is the standings, right? We're getting close to the showcase, and the standings are going to lock up. What was an 8-point lead going into this weekend of us in second place has now dwindled to a 4-point lead. So every point's very important, and we want to go into the showcase right now as the first place team playing first place teams across all other divisions. That way we have the best matchup and can gauge our team amongst the entire league. That way we have an idea hopefully going down into St. Louis in March, April.
Yeah, of course, you look at the whole grand scheme of it just from this past weekend, not much to dwell on from that point. But of course, now translate that into this week. Those two teams you lost to this past weekend, you're going to see them right away. And even with a midweek contest against Wilmer, and then Friday you're at the Moose, and then at Alexandria to cap off the weekend. This is a bit of a strange part in the schedule, if you will. You got a Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, followed by the following week, of course, another Wednesday, Friday, Saturday. Starting with this week, I mean, it's going to be a quick turnaround. Of course, you had the day off on Sunday. As of right now, we're recording this on Monday. A couple of practices, then hit it right with the game on Wednesday. What is this kind of time frame that you look at with this, week of practice into next week too, with it being, such a short week between last weekend into this week with these games?
Yeah, I mean, first things first, we've got the game Wednesday against Wilmer. It's our first time going to see them on the road, so kind of another new environment for our guys. It's all new, right? When you pull up to the rink, you're in new locker rooms and you're figuring out, okay, where do we go stretch? It's all new stuff, right? So just channeling that and being able to weather through that. But create our own energy on the road. And the good thing for us is we do have that quick turnaround from this weekend, and we get to see those two teams again. So hopefully our group is hungry and ready to go. There's a little bit of payback that we owe those two teams for getting us this weekend. And hopefully we can prepare our guys over the next couple days to get them ready for 6 games in 14 days.
Again, you can stay up to date with the full schedule for your Lumberjacks for this week by going to na3hl.com. Assistant Coach Eric Moser joins us here this week on Coach's Corner, brought to you by and powered by Central Hydraulics. Of course, the Lumberjacks are in action Wednesday, Friday, Saturday. Again, check out that full schedule online, and also check us out on our social media platforms. Again, we'll step aside here for a break. More Coach's Corner coming your way next. Welcome back to Coach's Corner here today. Of course, Coach's Corner is brought to you by and powered by Central Hydraulics. I'm your host, Paul Vold, as we get a chance to talk to one of the new faces of the team, a name that's probably no surprise to Lumberjacks fans of yesteryear. It's number 6, Teagen Dodge joins us. Teagen, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Of course, a brand new player here that we finally get a chance to break in some of the new guys and fresh faces to the Lumberjacks organization. Why don't you just introduce yourself and how long you've been playing hockey?
My name is Teagen Dodge, and I've been playing hockey since I was about probably 5.
And we always like to talk with some of the players here. Just what ultimately led you to come here to Granite City? Why choose this program?
The history and just close to home.
Absolutely. And one thing that we like to mention as well, maybe something that is a little bit different from the style of play from the likes of the junior levels of hockey. What have you seen that's kind of been a little bit of a difference from maybe in years past to now joining here with Granite City?
It's really fast, and you gotta play as a team. You can't do it all by yourself.
Yeah, of course. Now with something that maybe we'll touch on here briefly after a rough weekend that was over the weekend for Granite City, suffering a couple of losses. Looking back at the weekend as a whole, what did you really take away from those losses against Wilmer and also the Moose?
Honestly, I think it's just a great learning experience for the boys. It was a tough weekend, but we're going to come back stronger next time.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, at the time of this interview that we're doing here, it's Tuesday. Well, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, you don't have much time to really think about last weekend. You've got 3 games this week with Wilmer on Wednesday. Then you hit the road as well again against Wilmer. Then the Moose on Friday with Alexandria on Saturday. Looking at the week that is ahead, I mean, what's been really something that the team's looking at here with a couple of practices the early going of the week to really harping on and focus?
I would say just we had a couple of battle days, and we just got to play as a team, and big games coming up, so we're locked in.
Yeah, absolutely. Number 6, Teagen Dodge joins us here this week for Coach's Corner. Now we've got through all the boring stuff, let's have a little fun here with some rapid fire. You ready?
Yes.
All right, we're going to start off here, getting to know Teagen a little bit. What's kind of that pregame routine that kind of gets you, your mind ready? Does it start like in the morning, right before you get to the rink? What's kind of that routine for you on game day?
So I get up pretty early, get the legs moving, eat some breakfast, and usually just relax, and then come to the rink, tape stick, what everybody else does.
Yeah, you mentioned there a little bit of breakfast there. Anything else you do, kind of like a pregame meal to at least get something in you before the game?
Any type of noodles.
Okay.
Big noodles guy.
All right. With Granite City here, do you prefer the red or the white jerseys?
I like the white.
I like the white. Yep, that's a good one there. What's been your favorite rink that you played at here, away rink that you played at with Granite City?
So far, Evelyn.
All right.
Just the history and it's cool rink.
Of course. Now we get to a little bit of some seasonal questions here. What is your favorite and least favorite Thanksgiving food?
Obviously favorite, turkey. And least favorite, green bean casserole.
Interesting.
I'm not a good fan.
Okay. That's usually the only time I eat it every year is during Thanksgiving. Any other time, not so much a fan of. All right. Any traditions maybe your family has with Thanksgiving that you really look forward to every year?
Usually we just go to my grandparents' house, the whole family.
Okay.
Eat, hang out.
I like that.
Fun day.
So obviously Thanksgiving coming up here next week. First plate of food for Thanksgiving. What is that ideal first plate for you?
Turkey, corn, mashed potatoes, and mac and cheese.
Okay, I like that. Now we get to a couple of opportunities here. Maybe throw a couple of veterans under the bus here. Who is the biggest prankster on the team?
Probably Justin Lesser.
Okay, we've heard Lesser a few times. And on the team, who's got the best and worst style of the team? Maybe it's that pregame fit, maybe just the gear that they come out on the ice on with. Who's got the best and worst style?
Best style? I would say probably Park Comstock.
Okay.
And the worst style, Easton Portner.
Ooh, I like that. I like that a lot. And of course, finishing up here with our rapid fire questions, personal goals here for this season. What do you want to get out of this year with Granite City?
I want a ring, and I just want to become a better person.
I like that. Number 6, Teagen Dodge joins us here this week on Coach's Corner. Granite City going to be on the road for 3 games this week. Wednesday, they are going to be taking on the Wilmer Warhawks. Friday at the Minnesota Moose, and then Saturday at the Alexandria Blizzard. Check out game times and more by going to na3hl.com. While also following your Lumberjacks on their various social media platforms. This is Coach's Corner this week. I'm your host, Paul Vold. Coach's Corner is powered to you by Central Hydraulics. Chat with you all next week.